so much for coming all the way from California, I suppose. But it's so good of you to come. Sorry about the weather. It's very strange, the weather. I know you've had a lot of rain in California, but we seem to be getting that now. So, Milica is our tour guide, and she knows a lot about this place. But we've been living here 21 years. It's been an incredible experience. How did we get here? Well, we had a regime which was pretty bad, and it was inheritance from communism. I don't recommend dictatorship, communism, or fascism on anybody. We have to be very careful, negative nationalism everywhere. This side of the Atlantic and the other side of the Atlantic, please. So, after the bombing, which was very bad, I didn't see democracy going anywhere. So I thought maybe the best thing to do was unite the democratic opposition against Milosevic. And I did that by email. There was no social media then. This is 1999. So I sent an email to the opposition leaders saying, bluntly, you will turn up in Budapest for a conference to discuss the future of the country. And my wife and I went to Budapest and we thought, who is going to turn up? And they all turned up, including the future Prime Minister. So that was successful, and they made some agreements to work together. The next one we tried in Bosnia, in Banja Luka, and the government caught on here and so stopped them. The third one was in Athens, a 4-day conference, just outside, and we were given a hotel, and the whole of the opposition turned up, and the United States turned up, European Union turned up, and they really negotiated how to get on with each other, because we knew elections would take place soon. And then the last one is Kennedy School of Government at Harvard, and they were excellent to us. Elections took place in September 2000, and the opposition won, and as usual, the regime cancelled the elections or annulled them, and then everybody went on the streets, and the regime capitulated 5th of October. The new Prime Minister, Zoran Djindjic, called me up and said, thank you so much, I look forward to seeing you come back. So we came here around the 9th of October, and we sat down and met with him, and he said, all right, where's your car? Let's go to up here in the compound, let's take it over. I said, well, I don't want to get between you guys, but you have a situation with a federal president who was okay. So I said, I'll come back in December, and then we can talk about it. So we came back in December, and eventually in July 2001, we moved in here. And this palace was used as a guest house during the regime, the communist regime, for dictators, kings, queens, thieves. They all came here. And it was in not very good state, but the one that was in worse state is the White Palace, which is just down the hill. At this moment, there's a doctor's conference there that my wife is hosting, and that building is in really pretty poor shape because it was in constant use. Tito had his office there, and if you were a foreign minister or whoever coming from abroad, he would receive them there, the new ambassadors and so on. So when we took that over, things were still working, but now we don't have hot water. Electricity's from the old time, cloth on the cables, and so we're hoping that we will be able to fix that soon. But this is fully functional, and I think you're going to enjoy it. The basement is so unique. When we first came here, we couldn't believe the basement. It was extraordinary. Milica will tell you about it. So that's our story in brief, and my wife does humanitarian work, tremendous humanitarian work, and I have a foundation for education. And every year we have a big reception at the White Palace for the top students of all the high schools, 600 of them. Wow. And it's a tradition, but with COVID, we had to do it online. And this year we had to do it online again because we had 2 shootings here, which you've heard about. Sorry, in the United States, it's common, which is tragic. But here it was a shock to have the children one. And security-wise, to have 2,000 people, that includes parents and guardians, was a bit of a risk. So we decided to go back online again. So next year we hope to have it live. But once again, thank you. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer anything you may wish. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Are you Mr. Quill? Right. There you are. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Great to see you again.
Good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. All of them. I'll tell Branko. Okay. I'll send him an email right now. We'll send him a photograph.
We have a friend in common, Branko Terzic. When he got married, he asked Crown Prince Aleksandra to be his best man.
Yeah.
And then becomes family.
That's right.
Serbia himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I came the first time, Crown Prince says to me, I understand you had a successful Century 21 business. And he had people look me up, or he looked me up. And we actually have two of the agents that used to work for me right there. So super. Thank you again for having us.
It's a pleasure to have you. It's a pleasure. Enjoy. How long are you staying in town?
We'll be here till Sunday,
Yeah.
and then we'll return on Vidovdan.
Oh, you're here for a while then. Are you going to Oplanets?
We went.
Just for the...
Oh, I hope you enjoyed it. That's another story. I'll tell you quickly. My father died in the United States, and he was buried in Libertyville, Illinois. And in 10 years ago, we had a state funeral. The government was good enough to do a state funeral. So we brought my father from Illinois, my mother from Greece, my grandmother from Windsor Park, Frogmore, where she was buried right opposite Queen Victoria's mausoleum, which is quite spectacular, and an uncle who was buried a few miles away from my father. Crazy Serbian story, divisions and so on, but they were all buried in Oplanets, and I'm glad you went to see it. It's quite unique, the mosaics, it's quite a unique place. Not many people know about it. And I'm so happy they did that. It's one less thing. But the other shocking thing, I was 2 years old when I became an enemy of the state. Tito ordered a decree, and I must have been very dangerous at 2. That's a bit of a shock, but that's another story. There are too many stories. Anyway, do we have a photograph?
Please.
There we go.
Globe from 18th century. It's remarkable.
Put me in the corner.
So welcome to the Royal Library. Here you can see the part of the book collection. Before the Second World War, we had around 50,000 books in both houses. Unfortunately, the bomb here and the period of communism came after his father's murder in 1934, and the second one, the 1941, when we had huge demonstrations and when he formally became a king in this year. But the most beautiful item is definitely this globe from 18th century. It was made in Italy, obviously because Crown Prince Alexander is using also, but you have the thinking.
Thank you so much. You stay here, I'll be right back.
sort of right behind your right shoulder. The bust and the other one will go right behind your right shoulder.
Crown Prince. Crown Prince. In the mid, we have the small sculpture or bust of the girl. This is the European message, and from left and right side, this is the Crown Prince's bust. He got the gift.
Okay.
So here in the King's office, this office still Crown Prince Aleksandra is using, but first it was the private office of King Alexander Karađorđević, later the office of King Peter II, and now this is the office of the Crown Prince Alexander. Here, I just would like to show you this picture. It was taken in 2012 in London during the Diamond Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth. Here you can see the Queen Elizabeth, and here you can see the Crown Prince Alexander. I need to mention that thanks to the Queen Maria, royal family Karađorđević became international royal family because she had origin and from a Russian imperial family, and from the British royal family, from German royal family, so all in one. But also Queen Elizabeth was the godmother of the Crown Prince, and they really had a beautiful bond between each other. Even when it was the funeral of Queen Elizabeth, the Crown Prince and Crown Princess attended the funeral, and also they attended the private ceremony for only the members of the royal family. The Crown Prince Alexander mentioned the Queen Maria. Firstly, she died unfortunately in London, so far away from Yugoslavia, but because she was also member of the British royal family, thanks to her mother, she was a Princess Maria of Edinburgh, she had right to be buried there in the Frogmore property in Windsor. And in 2013, yes, we had a state funeral, so the remains of all members of the royal dynasty who died abroad, they came here to Serbia, and the rest in Oplenec. You visited the mausoleum of the royal family, the church of the St. George. Here, I just would like to show you also the official photo of the royal family. So, Crown Prince Alexander, Crown Princess Catherine, Prince Peter, the eldest one, Prince Philip, and Prince Alexander. And this is the youngest member of the royal family, Prince Stefan. He's the son of the Prince Philip. Yeah. Yeah, very, very, yeah. Now we will visit the Golden Room or Palmovicchio room. There we have refreshments, so please, we will go in this way. Maybe. So please take some refreshments and enjoy.
Okay.